Welcome to another edition of the African podcast series. My name is Wilson Senya. I'm your host for this edition. This is a special edition. We've had an amazing time in the Volta region, Keta to be precise, at the Keta Skills Festival. Today has been a very hectic day. We've trained over 250 young people, old people in various skills here in the Volta region. And the purpose is to give them skills that can be turned into viable businesses. And we are so excited to be here. The most important thing for us is to help to build Africa's entrepreneurial giants. And that is what we do at ABA. Now, to climax our activities in Keta, I cannot leave Keta without having a conversation on the Volta region with my good friends in Keta here. And for them to give us some story about Keta, the trajectory, how Keta is today, the challenges with the economy of Keta and the Volta region at large, and what we think can change and bring the change that we desire for this beautiful land of ours in the Volta region. So today I'm so excited, and I would love for you to stay glued to your sets and listen to this amazing conversation with us. Without much ado, I just want to introduce, or I want my guests to introduce themselves. So I'll take it from my right, and then I'll go to my left. So, my brother.
My name is Patrick Kofi. I'm a native of Keta. I schooled in what I call now the Bedman School, where the first finance minister. That's my business school. Then I attended Keta Secondary School, Finale, and then further the Kenya University, University of Science and Technology. My background is in natural resource management, forestry science, and I worked at the Forestry Commission at the head office, and then was later transferred to the Volta region as an area plantations manager. So I travel across the whole of the Volta region. We know where our natural resources are. We know what we can do with them to transform them into business.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And finally, I'm doing other businesses as well.
Okay. So you're also an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Okay. So to my left, my brother, my big brother.
Yeah. Listen, thank you very much for a wonderful day today. I think it's been amazing seeing over 250 young men, women, dotted with some old men and women as well. A sign that entrepreneurship cut across the demographics. Yeah, so my name is Joel Deng. I'm a geographer by training and an entrepreneurship consultant. I was a former teacher at Keta Senior High School, and now I'm a freelance entrepreneur with specialization in tourism development and promotion. So I'm based in Keta here, the headquarters, the international headquarters of tourism here in Ghana, and we are here to look at what Volta can afford itself.
I'm in between two Jolarians.
Exactly so.
So Keta is a beautiful land, especially if you look at the coastal area of Ghana. I always pride myself that if you want to see the best beach in the whole of Ghana, come to the Keta beaches. Keta and Loga to Way to Tegbe beaches are some of the cleanest, the most beautiful beaches you can find. And we have quite a good natural resources here. The lagoon is here. We have the sea just behind us, and all these are opportunities that we can tap. But let's start from the past, right? Where was Keta some 50, 60 years ago? Because a lot of people think this is Keta and this is how it was so many years ago. Keta had not been a city, but I've heard my dad talk about how Keta used to be a real city, a harbor city, where there was lots of buildings, lots of development, business going on. You are the historian. You are the one that gives us a lot of history facts here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Listen, the story of Keta cannot be complete without, or the story of Ghana cannot be complete without the story of Keta. Yeah, in colonial times, Keta used to be the fourth most important towns after Accra, Cape Coast, secondly Takoradi as a twin city. Keta is the number 4 so far as revenue generation for the colonial government was concerned. We have a harbor here, a thriving salt industry. We have the smoked and the salted fish economy here. We are saddled between 3 water bodies, the Atlantic Ocean on our south, the Keta Lagoon on our northern part, and when you travel west, you meet the Volta estuary, which is also another water body. Yeah, so Keta, or the Anglo land, is in between 3 water bodies. And as you said earlier, the natural resources here are beyond measure. Yeah, so Keta had interaction with the first colonial people who came here, especially the Danes. So around 1659 thereabout, the Danes started coming to our coast here. By 1700, they started building the Keta fort, which was a trading post first. Then by 1984, they built it in the whole fort, where commercial activities were taking place. Yeah. So Keta had the opportunity to also meet the Dutch, who came to replace the Danes, and finally the British, who bought the possession, the Danish possession, including the fort, and also had some interaction here until our independence in 1957. Yeah, so Keta used to be one of the most beautiful cities at that time. As you mentioned earlier, we have over 70 kilometers of coastline when we include the entire stretch from Fuveme to Anglongan to Tegbi, Way, Keta, Salakope, Adina to Aflau. It's over 70 kilometers of beautiful golden sparkling sand. And you know, sandy beaches are for tourism. Yeah, so Keta used to receive some of the tourists in here in the colonial times. The colonial people in Accra also traveled to visit the sandy beach here. Yeah, so truly speaking, Keta had its glory in colonial times. We had some of the most educated people in Ghana at that time. We were the first people to meet education after Cape Coast. When the Germans brought.
So that's why they say we love school.
We love school. We have nothing but what? School. We have Zion schools. We have RC schools. We have EP schools. All of them missionary schools here in Keta. Yeah, so Keta had a glorious past, which we are trying to rebuild and revisit in our current dispensation.
So what happened? What changed? Why is Keta, our beautiful city today, what it is today? Virtually a ghost town.
Keta has suffered.
And I wrote an article a few years ago where I described Keta as the town where there are beautiful how do you call it, cemetery estates, but no human estates. This is one of the only cities where you can, or towns where you have well designed cemeteries, but our buildings, there's no single commercial estate here. So we are so proud bringing our dead bodies to come and be buried here. That's why you see a lot of cemeteries lined up, but the town itself is a ghost town. It's become a migrating place?
Out migration town. As you said,
what was the changing point?
Keta suffered one of the most tragic environmental disasters, the coastal erosion, I want to say. From around 1907, Keta started having coastal erosion, according to basic data that were taken by the colonial people. So from around 1929, it accentuated. So buildings started going, infrastructure started going into the sea. By the 50s, about half of the town was already lost to the sea. And as if by design or default, by 63, by 67,
Yeah.
1960, after the coup d'etat,
Okay.
yeah, there was this issue about no, it's 62 when they closed the Keta port.
Okay.
When the Tema port was inaugurated.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's the first blow.
Okay.
After the coastal sea erosion, the second blow is the closure of the Keta port,
Okay.
which was a safe port.
But then there is also the element of the construction of the Akosombo Dam.
Down, yeah, which we're going to link to as part of the coastal erosion. By 67, there was the aliens compliance order. Keta used to have a lot of foreigners who were traders and businessmen.
Okay.
Yeah, especially the Nigerians.
Okay.
Yeah, the Nago or Anago people.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Names like Brahma.
a lot of them.
Okay.
Most of them just crossed the border, couldn't go home.
Okay.
Okay, because they were the second or the third generation of the first settlers.
Okay.
So some of them lost home in Nigeria.
Okay.
So they couldn't go back to Nigeria. Some they settled in Aflau or just after the border. Now, in 68, Achampa moved the capital of Volta region, which was Keta,
To Ho.
to Ho.
Okay.
Another blow, a third or a fourth blow.
Okay.
Okay, and by 83, the sea has taken most commercial stores,
Okay.
the JV Olivant and UAC and the Bremen Mission, the Bremen schools, the Zion schools, all these things were taken.
Okay.
And people have to migrate to other places. Those who lost their properties have to migrate to other towns. Yeah, so when you put all this together, it has affected not just the economy but even the population. Yeah, I think
So
the
lots of people had to migrate because they lost.
yeah, the 1970 population census.
Okay.
Yeah, the figures were lower than the 1960
Okay.
figures. A sign that there has been a lot of people who move out. Yeah, so all this came together to affect Keta's glory and Keta's economic activities at that
So
time.
the migration was to me, the migration is very, very important.
Yeah.
I think it drove a lot of people out. Because of the
They lost their homes, they lost their properties. Yeah, and fishing was no longer an economic activity because the rubbles of the damaged homes.
Okay.
Because our people here do what you call the beach seam net.
Yeah.
They pull the net onshore. Because of the rubbles and broken homes, they were no longer able. So that's where the fishers also started migrating towards Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, and
we have
Congo.
a lot of our Keta guys in Winneba and all the coastal areas.
And you hear about Anglo-Koji along the coast. Anglo-Copper and the rest towards the western region.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So all these things brought us to our knees, right?
Yeah.
To where we are today.
Yeah.
So I think before we go to the solution, I personally always had a view that one of the biggest challenges we've had as a people, aside everything that you said, is also us as indigents.
Yeah.
Our love for our town, our community has kind of diminished over the years. The migration is there, but we can't always blame others and nature. I think our love, we've made a lot of money. We have Voltarians or Keta people who are doing a lot of things out there, but most of us have neglected our town. And that has been my personal cry. Our neglect of Keta, our neglect of the Volta region is very clear. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges. How do we restore that love? And there are lots of Voltarians who will not want even their children to come back home.
You know, what you are saying is perfectly right. You know, Voltarians have distinguished themselves in a lot of fields, a lot of spheres across the globe, not just in Ghana, but even in outside countries. Yeah. But as you said, they've lost property, they've lost land, they've lost what they had. So most of them settle elsewhere. And as time elapsed, coming back home became difficult for them.
But when they die, they want to be brought back.
Of course, you know.
So the become
big cemetery, as you said it. So that's it. Yeah.
Very soon the people will come and they only meet the cemetery and then they go back.
Yeah, so that's one thing. And as you said, there has been more or less, I don't know whether I should call it deliberate sort of neglect or something they did inadvertently, just, you know, I don't care. Yeah, but finally they are waking to reality because they realize that whatever they built other places, people are now pointing fingers to their homes, as if where they from had nothing to offer. And it is in affecting almost everything we do. Yeah, so the call is now that Voltarians across the world should come back home. Yeah, they can't say we don't have land. At least we have gotten some land back from the Keta Sea Defense Project. There are now discoveries, will I say discoveries, of land beyond the lagoon. It's also Keta. Keta is not just the beach side. So we also have the lagoon side. We call this one Fugo, and the other side is Amugo, and Vego, and Shima, and the rest. So they have lands. So the call is now that come back home, there's land for you, and there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to worry about. Keta is calling it citizen back home. Yes.
So the call is come back home. There's land available. There's nothing to fear, and that is the funny part. There's some fear. There's a funny misconception about never manage your job. You're deaf. Somebody wants you to do something to you.
In any case, when you die, I did not bring you here. So come and die home.
So there's some fear. There's some mystery around this place. But I always tell a lot of people that there is absolutely nothing to fear in Keta. We are one of the most religious people. And the only thing is that just have a good heart. And I always tell people, just have a good heart. If you're a bad person, you're a criminal, that is what you fear. But we are a people of good heart. Now, I'll come back to you. I'll come to you on this. I've had a thinking that some of our challenges have been, is it deliberate? Should I say deliberate or intentional? Let me propound this my theory. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. I think that from our political leaders, from Nkrumah to even, I'll not take anybody out from it, even now, Voltarians have been seen to be a people who love school, very educated, and therefore they are a good resource for our institutions, government institutions, educational institutions, all of them. And to tap into that rich resource of the region, we must keep Voltarians still in that education mindset closure. And I believe that is why industry, or bringing industry to the Volta region, has not been a priority of government, successive government development. I don't know that you agree to that theory. I've always believed in that. So there's oil discovery here, right? In the southern Volta. But why is it that resource has not been developed? And I think that there's a fear that if we make this place to become an industrial zone, it will make Voltarians to also love doing business, industry, etc. That school, that educational resource that the Voltarians are known for, supplied to the country with things. So intentionally, this place is full of junior high schools, primary schools, junior high schools, senior high schools, but very little tertiary institutions here. And the tertiary institutions are all outside this region. And that is where we are groomed here sent into the tertiary institutions outside Volta region, and then we are sent to go and work in other parts of the country. And that is why gradually we have lost the human resource from this region. I don't know what you think about this is my theory. This is my theory.
Your theory is no more theory, it's been confirmed. You know, there is a university college established in Chito, Adult Education College. That university college is only a year below University of Ghana. So University of Ghana is 1 year older than that university.
In Chito,
Adult Education College. If you go there, when the University of Ghana that's the University College of the Gold Coast, was being built, the people, WIU and Co from Chito also decided that they needed a university as at that time, because Peki Training College was just across the two mountain range. And they donated land and everything in Chito. The facilities that were built there was handed over to the University of Ghana. It is in the same states more than 60 years ago.
Wow.
It's still the same.
Wow.
So your theory is right. But what I also see is that sometimes, as a people, you know, we are able to work in teams, we are able to learn other people's languages quickly, we are able to adapt and stay with people, be respectful and all that. So it's very easy for an Anglo man or Volta person to move to another place and work with others without any assimilate and begin to speak the language, begin to be nice to the people and begin to... So, of course, if you go to a place and you are okay there, then what's the point in coming back? So, I may not say it's a deliberate attempt by anybody or unconscious. It's an unconscious bias towards us, where over time this thing has been perpetuated. In fact, the first time I visited the Chito Adult Education College, I was really mad. Where you see the kind of plans that they had, it's just like the University of Ghana.
Wow.
And then you go back to the University of Ghana, you compare it. How it's just 1 year as you developed over and then that of the Volta, and you know the place is located in one of the prime locations you can find in the region. It's on the what we call around the Chawi Basin, the Chawi Valleys, where you have the Abutia Hills, and then you have the Vetu Mountain Range ecosystem. And then it's built on the Vetu side. So when you are there, you can already see the Abutia Hills. And in between, the landmass there is even bigger than what you have at KNUST. So you could have one of the biggest university estates if you want to. And when you come to industry, see, Volta region, we also had a lot of industries. I can mention no less than 16. But what happened to them? Point is, where are they now? I will start counting. You know, they are talking about Agledu now. Before Agledu, in 1954, before even independence, the Dema and Kuma came and built Agledu, but the irrigation scheme there. It's actually about some, if I'm not mistaken, more than 6,000 acres of land that was taken as a farm estate. Irrigation is about 1,000 hectares. And then you have an agro complex where you have a poultry farm, you have a rice milling station, you have a mechanization pool, you have a duck farm, you have a fish pond, you have everything.
It's a whole agri.
It's agri complex.
What they are now talking about has existed before in better irrigation. Not only that, the first cattle breeding station in the whole of West Africa was at Amelokope, around. It was also a very huge estate at the scale of Agledu, or what the better irrigation scheme, which is also about some 6,000 acres of land. There's a 2-stage dugout, big dam, for irrigating giving water to the animals. He has a pasture land. They have 37 bungalows. It's still in the bush.
And they're still in the bush.
I mean, if you have time, you find time, I'll send you there. You see 37 bungalows
For workers.
with colonial architecture, like the way Nkrumah built. So if you go there, those buildings are even stronger than what we are currently building. Because the quality of the work that was done then is still there. You can just go, you re-roof, you clean up the space, then you have a cattle ranch like the way you have it in the Midlands. It's there. The same project you have what we call the Aveime Cattle Ranch. Yeah. It's also a very huge estate full of cattle. And following from the breeding station, then you have the cattle ranch at Aveime, where we now have the Aveime rice fields. From the Aveime rice farms, there is also
you are giving me these are lots of
this is only just sounding data.
These are lots of facts, lots of record, lots of data. But let's move straight to we have lots of time. So solution. What are the top 5 business opportunities in the Volta region today?
I'll start with agribusiness. Okay. We have 35 million estimated population to feed.
In Ghana.
Okay. I'm not talking about export.
Just Ghana. Just Ghana. We are not looking at West Africa. We are not looking at Togo. We are looking at
And quite recently, I saw a data gathered by one of the research institutions. We bring about $1 billion worth of rice, over 300 million worth of tomatoes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, these figures,
Tomatoes from Burkina.
Yeah, it's over 60 million fruit from Burkina Faso. Okay, and those we bring from China. We can. So first business is agriculture and agribusiness.
We are a country that imports tomato,
rice, sugar, beef,
onion,
turkey wings, turkey tails, vegetable oil,
meat.
Yeah, just not the offal, the intestines.
Everything is.
And we even import chicken legs.
It means that for the agri sector, it's an unending.
It's an unending opportunity. And it should be the top priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Volta region is actually the agro-industrial hub for Ghana, which is actually hidden, which a lot of people are not
hidden. Yes. Because there's so much research, research documents about this agri opportunities in the region. So I don't count it as a hidden gem anymore. It's glaring for all of us to see. It's about leadership being intentional about tapping into these resources. Okay. And I think it's leadership not a challenge we face in the Volta region. Political, traditional, every level of leadership.
Yeah. You see,
the leadership question, Wilson, you rightly said it. It is not a question of lack of leaders. The problem is actually lack of leaders with a shared vision. Okay. Because the vision of maybe people who are within the region seems to differ largely from those who find themselves outside the Volta region. Okay. They are also Voltaians. They believe in the Volta region. They have a certain mindset towards the region. Okay. So the thinking is like divergent. So that is where the problem is. We have very good leaders. We have very nice guys. Everybody is thinking, what can we do for our hometown? What can we do about it?
And very few of them are taking action.
That
has been my pride.
Yes.
Recently, we started the Volta Economic Forum platform. And it's a platform I developed to bring Voltaians together to see how we can develop our beautiful region. And we have a number of them on our WhatsApp platforms. So now, when it came that let's take an action, let's all meet. Everybody is silent. Everybody became silent. So the issue is they have the mindset, the wish, but take the action, and that has been the challenge. That's been the challenge. So let's go. Well, you said agribusiness is number number one, right?
Yeah.
What is number two?
Number two, transport. We are not connected. The region is not connected.
No, okay, no. Okay, so we are not talking about the challenges here. We are talking about the
Yeah, so I'm talking about
opportunities,
opportunities. Transport. Yeah, transport infrastructure.
Connecting farming areas to market centers, city centers. You know, it pains me that over 60%, if I'm right, of farm produce in the interior gets spoiled before reaching the marketplaces. And I think currently the 24-hour economy is trying to reduce that to about 30% loss. I think I'm getting
is that loss not because we have very few processing units?
Yeah, the processing unit and the means of cutting them too. The roads are not good from the farming areas. So you see tractors breaking down mostly on the way after falling into potholes a number of times with that load, then they break down and they are there. It takes another time for them to replace them.
Added to what my brother is saying, could you imagine this agribusiness is one of the key things? We can count the number of tractors that are in the water. I can give it. We can count it. Yes, it's not.
So the transport business is another opportunity.
Yeah.
So number three.
Yeah.
Which one will you go for?
Yeah.
You're saying that, right?
Tourism. Yeah. Tourism is the next gold mine.
All right.
Okay. I spoke about 70 kilometers of coastline from Aplau to Fuveme. And this is golden, sparkling sand beach. Okay? And in my study in tourism, you could only see this sand somewhere in Mori, near Cape Coast. You see it around Benin, in Western region. The next place you see it is Grand Bassam in Côte d'Ivoire and San Pedro, and you see a little around Banjul. This sun, no other sun along the coast of Africa is as beautiful as this. Two things: when you fetch the sun in your palm, you see silica. It's like glassy materials in it. So our sun is also good to make bottles, glass materials. Is there. Okay? And it is one of the neatest. The dirt we see along our beaches is what the sea brings on it. It's not generated. We can say 90-95% of what we see on our beaches are dirt is coming from the sea, not from the ground. Okay? So our entire coast here is for beachfront tourism.
And here we are only talking about Keta. Because if you move out of Keta to the main portion,
that's where you see ecosystem, landscape. Okay, you know, from the top, where you see the ridges, the valleys, and you see the water bodies flowing in between them, and you see the lush vegetation.
You go to
Amejope, go to Liatiote.
In fact, all those places are so beautiful, and the waterfalls and all those things.
Over 16 waterfalls in Volta region alone.
Is the I think you are the president for the
I'm the chairman of the Tel Gas Association of Volta.
So he has the opportunities in the tourism tech guys' fingertips. So that is where there are a plethora of opportunities for investors.
So we need investment.
We need investors.
We need investment in infrastructure, in accommodation, in this eco park, in eco lodges. And why not restaurants and holiday homes, homestays? These are the things that people want to patronize these days. So if you can put it at the right place for them.
So we are coming. If you are an investor, you are somebody who is interested in investing into the tourism sector. Volta region is ready. We are looking for you. So if you want to invest in hotel, restaurants, please get in touch. We want to talk to you. We want to bring you to the Volta region. So this is the next destination, not just only for Ghana, West Africa. It's all coming to the Volta region. We call it Visit Volta, and this is where there are opportunities. What is the fourth one?
Kofi will add that one. For solution.
In terms of opportunities, I'm looking at education.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges we have, even as a country, is our inability to see education.
Tertiary education, quality tertiary.
Even from the high school education, to see it as business opportunity. We don't see education as business, as an economy, as an industry for us to build properly. So that is why we are not tapping into it. There is a widely held notion that Nigerians love school. And I think that alone could be a starting ground to tap into building very world-class education institutions here and bring in students from the whole of West Africa to come here.
Yeah.
I always share the story of how around 2013 to 2015 or 2014 there, I was running my courses in Cameroon. So my school was just my organization, African Entrepreneurship Academy, was just in Labadi somewhere. But we were running our courses in universities in Cameroon. So we had partner institutions that were running our models there. And we were issuing certifications from Accra here. And the only reason why people enrolled into our courses in Cameroon was because certification was coming from Ghana. And you know, that Ghana education brand was everything. And it saddens me that we are not tapping into that gold mine to build a major educational industry.
You know, the Volta region, like you said, is an educational hub for Ghana. In fact, the should be. No, it has been. It is still what has.
But not at the tertiary level.
It is. Not in terms of the institutions, but in the human beings. But what has happened is that when you go to any of the universities in Ghana, the Rotarians are in the majority, or mostly you count the first top 3, 4, 5 up to 10. When I was in uni,
that one is something we all laugh at.
I know they laugh at us.
They are always so. I remember when we were in senior high school in Accra, where myself and a friend of mine were first and second. So before this would we've done something for you in the village. Your parents have so there's that funny belief.
So what I want to say is that there's also, I was in Switzerland recently and then in Germany. The discussions were around issues of services exports. So if you have a group of people in a region who are passionate about education, and then there are these countries in Europe and America that are looking for human resource, digital experts, experts in ICT, engineering, medicine, nurses. These are all people who need education, and your people are willing to study and to be well educated and take advantage of that. Then, as the next frontier, which is the knowledge economy, then it means these are people you need to reorient towards international education. So we can even export labor, which we are already doing, but in an uncoordinated, managed way. So if later we decide, okay, looking at it, we have supplied so much labor to Ghana, we supply so much labor to Accra and Kumasi and everywhere. Now we want to go international as an intentional, deliberate strategy to push our people for international global expertise, like what is being done by the Indians. That could also be an option for us. So we don't necessarily have to build the factories here, but so that's why I see education economy, where deliberately we take advantage of our capacity for high engineering courses, high scientific courses and all that, and train on that, and with the intention that we want to supply the global economy with, that kind of labor, and then capture the value from that labor. That's what India is doing.
In IT
now.
most of the top managers,
the vice president of Google, Microsoft, and the rest.
Go that way. And the platforms are there, the networks are there. It's something we can do. So we can have people like Keta here. If the Chikaters, the Amagashis, the Kansis, the all these names, they have old family houses. If you go there, you find time to make a documentary on some of these properties. These are excellent places that people can come and stay. Then they study online and all these things. And then with the intention that when these guys finish school, we are sending them outside or even to Ghana where they will do the high level jobs where pay is proper in terms of the millions that are
remuneration.
And that is also an economy, and that is what also an opportunity for us to tap in. And that is where I see retail being deployed. I'm sure John was
listen.
Once you add that, I just wanted to also add your message for last 2 things I wanted to talk about, and I want you to add your message first to leadership. Leadership, political leadership of the region, and then leadership in every sphere. The religious leaders. Look, I share with people that I think the church in the Volta region would be a big platform for the total transformation of the region. If they want to. Of course. Because we are very religious people. There are so many churches here, but the impact is not being felt personally or from my side. I don't see the impact really in the development of the region. And I want you to talk to our leaders, both political, religious leaders, everybody who has a say, traditional leaders in this region. What is your message to them first? Then you also give a message to Voltarians everywhere in the world on the fact that there is a need for a paradigm shift for us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Listen, you see, everything rises and falls on the shoulders of leadership. That is a condition sine qua non. Without it, we keep gyrating. We just keep going around and round and round, but we don't make any progress. You know, I know we discussed at length about that educational thing. You know, if you have the institutions here, Nigeria alone is a market for us. We bring 1 million young Nigerian men in our economy here, train them 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. As against this amount of dollars they go and spend in the United States, in Europe, to school them, I think is classic. So that's one thing we are missing on.
Some 8 years ago, there was a large community of Francophone and other African countries in Accra. And I had a center for them at Kotobabi that were training them, and they were a lot. Suddenly, they've all just vanished.
A few things happen around that land, especially residential permit and stay. I know. I have recommended people from Francophone country to our language centers in Accra and others. So we need to break down. We are one people. Why can't a Togolese come there and say, why are you talking about some of these papers and the rest? Who wrote that script? And we have refused to know. You traveling one stamp, or you are going to 27 countries just receiving one stamp in your passport. So that's by the way.
Those who divided us,
have broken down the middle walls of partitions.
We are keeping it strong.
So that's it. 1 million Nigerians, 500, 1,000 or 100,000 Togolese, when they come in our economy, I can just imagine the ripple effect. In our economy, in consumption, in transportation, in utilities, they are going to invest and learn from us. So ours is to create that environment for them. Now, to leadership, as I said, everything rises and falls on the shoulders of leadership. Political leadership, religious leadership, traditional leadership, and even community leadership. They are going to call for the shot, and the people are going to respond to it. So one thing that is missing, I have studied development of communities globally. When I ask excuse me, when I ask our regional minister now, Honorable James Gulu, what is the blueprint for Zeta region for the next 5 years? Blueprint. Yeah, the roadmap.
I've seen something. It's a 270 something page document. And when you want to look into that document, it's like you are going for an academic thesis.
Why am I saying this? For us to develop, we need a blueprint. In education, in security, in health, in tourism, in empowerment, in employment, in youth development, in our culture, in sports. What is the blueprint in the next 4 or 5 years? Every community should have one. I know Ofanko has one. Some small community. The leaders, traditional leaders, they just put together themselves. It can be 24 pages and 30 pages. But when you come, say, what do you have in our community? Yeah, we have this, we have this, we have this. This need investment, this need investment. You produce it. Anglo, I've been writing about Anglo Development Plan 2025-2030. Where is it? Qatar Development Plan 2025, where is it? That if I bring $1 million now, the MC could corner me in a room there and tell you, investor, can you consider this? This is the plan approved by the Municipal Assembly. Now,
I think that's what they are calling their...
And the MDDC, the Medium Term Development Plan. I have read it since 1996 or so, and none has convinced me today that document can bring the transformation needed. I'm playing here. I have read it. Every 4 years, then they go and change the data, change the figures, and bring if they brought this thematic area at the number 2, then they take it to number 4, and then they bring the number 5. But no, we ain't serious. We ain't serious as a people. So leadership should produce that. I was in Cotonou, I was in Abome Calavi, I was in Ouida. I have seen it. I have seen it. Community, what they call them commune, the DC assemblies, they have their document there. An investor comes, well, let's meet in the hotel and do a presentation of our DC assembly too, and they show them the thing. Oh, we can farming, animal rearing, transformation, value addition. Those
And
things
I've
are
seen the changes that are happening in Benin. It's amazing what is happening in Benin. I think like you said, our leaders just need to be intentional. And
intentional. Know what you want to do and want to do it.
And I always say that the purpose of the district assembly concept, which is decentralized leadership or political leadership, brilliant idea, but it's not working well.
It's not working well.
The leaders will find or will put in those positions are not really development oriented, and they don't really know that there's an opportunity. They are like heads of states.
This the small state
of Keta,
small state of Angola.
So our MC is our president, and we are supposed to drive this economy. So sometimes I also do not know what are the targets given to them, the KPIs that are given to them to achieve. Listen, because if I am the MC, God, there are so many things. I always ask a question: do you have a website? Keta does not have a website.
You have.
Keta now has a website.
Yeah. It's
That is a political website. I'm talking about a website that drives investors to come. I'm talking about a website that when somebody goes, the opportunities, the hotels, the tourism opportunities, the business opportunities, and the person immediately, if I want to visit Keta, where would I go online and just know that I'll stay in this hotel? These are the opportunities I need to tap into. Absolutely none. So we are blinded.
This is very true.
Yeah.
But the big opportunity we have now is that we have in the person of the new MC who is willing and welcoming to ideas like this and ready to work with other people to be able to bring their documents together, their knowledge
Synergize
together,
everything.
and then leverage on it.
I need to see him.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And he's one of the guys that I believe strongly. If we rally around him and then we connect
The
with
dogs.
the right people, we can really make the story of Keita a different one, and we will all be excited. Because just top of my head, when we had some sessions and then we put together some of the proposals and some of the things that we think can drive investment here. Keita alone, we are not talking beyond Anloga and Ketu.
Yeah.
Keita and K2 alone is almost like a $2 billion investment destination for the Volta region. Okay. Well, if you talk about the port city, the harbor, the salt industry,
The aquaculture.
agro industry, the mariculture, aquaculture, dredging the lagoon, connecting a railroad from here to Pakistan to the Sahel countries and all these things. That's like a big industry that we can support you. And if you know people or you have contacts in Accra that are also thinking like that, I think we should be able to have a structure where we can come together.
Let's have a stakeholder. Let's meet the let's put together something. Let's because my passion for the region is it's like a burning this thing.
Yeah.
I want to see this place become, a place where my family, my kids, everybody one day grow up there. Not that we all die and we just want to be buried there. Yeah.
But listen, before
Your last words for us, and then I'll come.
my last word is, you said something that pulled a chord in my heart.
Okay.
That is, the MC is the president of this area.
Yeah.
I studied Singapore as a case study. Singapore has a land size of 734 square kilometers.
Okay.
734. Keta and Angoga is 1,086 square kilometers. When they carve Angoga out of Keta, Keta is having now about 600 to 700. So Keta municipality today is just a little 20, 15 square kilometers
Bigger than Singapore.
And Singapore is a country on its own. The country is called Singapore. The capital city is Singapore. The biggest city is Singapore. Everything is Singapore. Singapore is a country. It's called a country state. A country state. The country is the state and the country is the city. Not that big. The population is high, around 6 million. But
our FPSO, is it not made in Singapore?
Jurong, the company that made the FPSO was established in 1985. Jurong Construction Limited. Jurong 85. 85 we have just come out of the 81 coup d'etat. But that was a company. They built the FPSO number 2. I think Akufo-Addo also. And number 3, Atamins also. Everything around shipbuilding now is Singapore, a country that we were better than. The Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, visited Kwame Nkrumah in 1964 to ask Kwame Nkrumah, how do we take independence from Kwame Nkrumah? Gave him the tips. He went, and by September 1965, he got independence from Singapore. He came in January to say thank you, Kwame Nkrumah. And by February, just a month later, they did a coup d'etat for Kwame Nkrumah. It took him 6 months to write a letter to Kwame Nkrumah because he could not understand why a people could remove such a man to a coup d'etat. Yeah, so this is our bane all these years.
I think there are answers to why Nkrumah was removed. A lot of people don't like that one. But we have that conversation later.
Okay, so your party word.
Yes.
Yes, listen, I just want to thank you, whoever is behind you, whoever is supporting what you do, for the kind of thing you have done for our people in Data today. It's a welcome opportunity, bringing all of us together. I've been talking about our opportunities and business examples. So I just want to thank you. And for the water radio, let's connect the
let's come together more. Let's stop most fighting the people that are questioning people's capacity because people are in the village and they are so they don't know anything. You know, that kind of approach is 8-25. So we need to know how we all come together and work together. So basically I did a big job. Let's do it around this time. To have knowledge, to be able to support them. So that it goes when we are all, I think we do a big
something beautiful with our team. Imparting our work in the Volta region is not a one-day wonder. No. We are in for the long haul. It's part of our vision to develop the whole country, not just Ghana, to develop the whole Africa. So that is why we call this platform the Africa We Want podcast. We are excited with all our sponsors during this Guitar Skills Festival. Fido, we have Pale Biscuits, we have Blue Skies.
I know you didn't get a lot of sponsorship.
I
mean, that's typical because
Pale Blue Skies, yes. Baltic, right? Wilkerson Estates. Equator, right? Yes. Equator, they are producers of Pale Biscuits. Okay. Yes, so they are some of those who supported us. Give us some biscuits to refresh our participants today. So excited to have all of them here with us. And today I learned a lot from two very informed, data-driven, with dates, accurate dates and data with us today. And I hope we've all learned a lot. Look, if you are a Voltarian from Keta, from any part of the Volta region, you are a blessed person. Never see yourself as if you are not blessed. You are blessed. You are from a beautiful community, beautiful land, full of resources and opportunities. Never think that, oh, kill a Penami and kill a Volta region. There are lots of things in the Volta region, and we are a blessed people. If you don't come early, others will come and invest, and one day you will start fighting them and sacking them from your land. Come, let's invest in the Volta region. Let's make Volta region great. Let's be passionate about the gift God has given to us. And in party, my name is Wilson Kafui Senya of African Entrepreneurship Academy. This is the Africa We Want podcast. Thank you, and God bless you, and see you again. Bye. Thank you.